You split child! You unfortunate child! You see your life? I asked God for a child, He gave me a foolish one.
Mommy, please, it's okay.
Come back here! Come back here! No, Mommy, please stop! I'm sorry! Let go of me! I am not finished with her! I'm sure you guys heard it, right? This is a beautiful story between Onome, which is obviously me, and my so-called mother, who's a witch, by the way, and I will never forgive. Well, watch and see why I say my mother is a witch and more.
Our dad had just left us with nothing. He eloped with his lover. I mean, so we heard. He never cared to even take me with him. At least, I won't be with this ugly witch that claims she's my mother. It all started when my mother, Mrs. Evie, newly found out that my dad was cheating on her. One fateful evening, after Evie, this is what I will be calling her, she isn't worth any respect whatsoever. After she came back from where she sold food at the junction, she was a petty food seller, by the way. She found my beloved dad with a girl. She immediately went berserk. Perhaps because the girl was more beautiful and younger than her. She was just jealous. Evie got into a serious fight with that girl and gave her the beating of her life. If not for the intervention of my dad, I'm sure that girl would have died that very day. Our home never had peace from that day onward. Fights upon fights, arguments upon arguments. Evie claimed that my dad wasn't providing enough, that my dad was a chronic humanizer, not to wake up one day and she packed her bags and took me with her to my grandma's side in Ondo. She didn't even ask if I was comfortable with the idea. I lost all my friends, my plans, everything. I didn't even get to tell my friends goodbye. By the time I went back to meet my dad one day, I was told he got married and eloped with his new wife to another city. Just like that, that chapter closed. My mom, Evie ruined my life just to better her own. I guess she was happy she succeeded. Life with Evie in my grandma's side was chaotic, annoying and suffocating. Evie never let me do anything. She already took my dad away from me and now she wanted to take my life. One fateful evening, Evie would just got back from the market, quickly arranged her stuff and proceeded to fry a car by the junction. That was what she started doing after she ran out of my father's house, like in Maduma. I watched her carry the heavy basin on her head as she told me, "Onome, before I come, cool. Me that was preparing for a party." I angrily yelled and told her I couldn't, that I was going for a party. Evie suddenly became angry and she shouted like a mad woman, "You go nowhere. If you leave this house, better stay there and never try to come back." You see, she practically owned my life. She always decided and never for once asked if I had an opinion or anything to say. She was always making the decisions. I never went out. I had no social life. I had no friends. Every time I was always in my room reading. I guess she doesn't know the saying that says, all jack and no play makes someone dull. On one occasion, I was just going to get something when a guy stopped me and started saying he liked me and he would love to get my number. Me, I was just giggling. From nowhere, all of a sudden, my mom came out. I can't even see if she's monitoring me with an evil mirror. She chased me in front of everyone, yelling that I wanted to live the kind of life that she was living, that I was a spoiled child. She called me a lot of names, that I was a prostitute. She never allowed me to talk to any guy. She always felt that they had ulterior motive to get me pregnant. Years passed with torture from my mother. I was finally done with WAEC and JAM. I was preparing to go to the university. But Evie said I couldn't go, that I should go and learn a trade. I was confused and perplexed. I thought she said I needed to study and become better than her wretched self. But Evie said no, that she didn't have money to further my education. Out of joblessness and stubbornness, I began to mingle with bad friends. On one occasion, I sneaked out and followed my friends to a party. I was finally having fun. Could you believe that my so-called mother came to that very party and beat the hell out of me? I was so embarrassed. I was 18 for crying out loud. Truth be told, embarrassment was an understatement. I felt like a fish out of water. I cried my heart out that night, with bruises all over my body as I sat on my bed thinking about what Evie wanted from me. She didn't want to send me to school, and yet she also didn't want me to have peace of mind. She was suffocating me. The thought of this pissed me off as I marched straight to her room. I angrily banged the door open as I yelled, "Evie, what do you want from me?" This was the very first time she heard me call her by her name. She looked shocked and whatever. I shouted as we both argued on top of our voices. I told her that if she wasn't going to send me to the university, and I was finally leaving the house for good, I was done. This statement left her dumbfounded. She froze and never uttered a single word after that. She watched me as I angrily walked out of her room. That night was hectic. The hatred I had for her grew beyond the charts. I felt like strangling her. The following day, I think around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, she angrily threw a letter at me while I was doing the dishes. It was a check. It was boldly written that my full university welfare had been taken care of. I didn't even bother to ask where she got the check from or where she got the money from to pay for my tuition. All I wanted was just to leave that godforsaken house. I didn't care if she had sold her kidney. I swore never to come back to that house. She had ruined my life. No friends, no dad, nobody to call my own. The D-Day finally came for my going and I was elated. I quickly packed everything and left. I looked at her nonchalantly. She was very rigid. Not a bit of remorse or sadness was in her eyes. What kind of mother wouldn't be sad when a child wants to leave her home? She had a heart of stone, and I vowed never to be like her. Life in university was fine and nice, and few years later, I was done. I was a doctor, and I never heard from her again, and I never even cared. I soon got married, and marriage life was good. Not until everything turned upside down. My husband started to cheat. It was so unbearable. I sorted out all the bills. I was literally the breadwinner of the family. I was managing, working hard for my children. Yes, I now had 2 children. They were my everything. I could literally die for them. 2 years later, I and my husband got divorced, and it was just me and my children. My work was helping. I tried my best to give my kids the very best they deserved. One evening, I came home and saw my eldest child crying. I asked her what the problem was. She said some kids laughed at her for being a child from a broken home. I tried consoling her, but she immediately flinched and yelled, "Mom, you caused this. You made daddy leave us. I hate you." This instantly opened the wound I thought I'd healed. Years and memories flashed back immediately. I instantly remembered my 8-year-old yelling at my mom that she was the cause of our misfortune. I cried that night. For the first time in 19 years, I thought about my mom. I felt guilty. Every bone in my body felt heavy. So cruel of me. I started searching for her. I went to my hometown, where we stayed before, but I was told she relocated. Nobody knew where she was. I cried. Oh, tears was an understatement. I cried oceans. After 1 year of intense search, I lost all hopes to ever meet my dearest mother again. The one who got me when I thought I had no one. One day at the hospital, I was in my sheets when I was told there was an emergency. We quickly went to get the person. You won't believe that the person was my mother, Mrs. Ivie, in a stretcher, lying unconscious. She looked old and frail. I couldn't move. Hot tears and instant heat engulfed my body. My view blurred for some seconds. After a few hours in, she was revived. We confirmed that she collapsed due to low sugar. Gosh, she looked unkempt and sad. I guessed I was the witch after all. Oh no, man, the daughter that you are. When I told her I was her daughter, she didn't believe at first, but when I showed her my birthmark, she instantly believed. She hugged me. To think this lady still had me in her heart after years, I will never understand that. I waved in her arms and asked for her forgiveness. She told me she had long forgiven me. She also had her fair share of the blame for isolating me. We chatted. It was there I got to find that where the scholarship came from. It was my uncle. She had to use her body. This discovery was too heavy for me as I ran out for fresh air. To think I made her do that. I never got to hear her own part of the story. It hurts. She told me it was all in the past, that at least it wasn't wasted. I became somebody. I was elated. I was about to get my car keys when she suddenly started breathing uncontrollably. Before we could do anything, she had gone to the great beyond. Like how? 1 minute we were chatting and the next this. I cried profusely as I rolled on the floor. Mrs. Evie has been my rock all my life. I called her names. I thought she was weak, callous, and the reason everything fell apart. I called her a witch. How did I even do that? She was never a witch. She was a fire that kept our house warm when the world turned cold. My mother stood in the storm so I could stay dry. She went hungry so I could eat. She was always my rock, my shield and my helper. It still hurts me till today that I didn't see it. Mommy Onome, you were never a witch. You were a warrior. I finished my speech as I quickly went to a quiet corner and cried my eyes out. Life moved on, but I never did. I finally understood everything, and I was at least happy I got her forgiveness before she passed. To all the women who carried our words on their backs in silence, to the ones who fought battles no one ever saw and still smiled at dawn, you were called weak, yet you held the sky with your bare hands. You were called witches, yet you hid nations with your love. You were never the cause, you were always the covering. May your strength forever echo through the hearts you raised.